back to the GSMC Baseball Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Sam Menzie, and we have a good show for you today. First three topics we're going over is my weekly Friday Power Rankings, recapping all the action that happened this week with ranking every single team 1 to 30, so we'll be doing that. Then the fourth and fifth segments. Fourth will be about Joe Ryan and his injury for the Minnesota Twins, and then going over some other general news stuff around the league, stuff that I want to talk about but I didn't think was good enough for a full segment. So before we do all that, I'd like to ask you once again to please like and follow the show. We do get a number of questions from viewers, so to ensure that your question does get read in the air, please hit the link, gsmcpodcast.net. It really does help the show, and it really does mean a lot, so thank you so much for that. And let's get back into the show for today. All right, as I said, today is going to be my weekly, always Friday Power Rankings, ranking every single team in baseball 1 to 30. So let's get into that. So starting off for the number one team for this week, I should say, I'm going to be having the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, I did drop the Phillies a little bit last week. I believe I had them either fourth or fifth, which I believe was true at the time, but they just beat the Dodgers in LA in a 3-game series, and to me, that kind of catapults them to the top of the list for this week. They really did fantastically well there. Their offense was really working. Their pitching staff, like always, was electric. Their bullpen was doing better, especially with the Carlos Estevez addition. I really think he's linked out the bullpen a lot. So I really like what the Phillies did at the deadline, and I think right now they're the best team in baseball. They've been up and down the spot all year, and I think this is a week where they are the best team in baseball. Second place, I am going to be having the New York Yankees. Yankees are currently 7-3 in their last 10. They haven't exactly faced the most hardcore of opponents, playing the Angels in a recent series, but they've done a good job against these bad teams, which teams like the Yankees, who are in very competitive spaces, need to be able to do. So I give them a lot of props on that. And yeah, I still think they're a great team. I really like the gesture of addition when it happens, and I still think it was a great one. I think, again, he really links that lineup for that team, gives them a lot more depth, and also provides a spark and electricity in their lineup they haven't had in a little while. So I really like that addition. I love what he's done for that offense, and I think right now they're the number 2 team in baseball. Number 3, I am going to be having their AL East rivals, the Baltimore Orioles. I believe this is the first time in a long time the Orioles have not been 1 or 2, but they have been struggling a little bit. I think it's just kind of, the ups and downs of the seasons, the trials and tribulations, so I wouldn't really think it's anything too significant to get worried about, but overall, I still think they're a fantastic team. I really like what they did at the deadline, adding to their pitching core. Trevor Rogers, Zach Eflin, I think those are 2 fantastic additions. Bullpen additions as well. Sir Anthony Dominguez done really well since coming to Baltimore. Greg Russetto hasn't, but I still think he's more of a long-term play, hoping to get something more out of his arm. Once was an all-star with Detroit, so I'm sure they know how to develop him, get back really into that kind of situation for him. The offense is electric, of course. You have Gunnar Henderson, who is probably the best shortstop in baseball at this point. Adley Rutschman, of course. You have some other stars in the lineup as well. Jackson Holliday's done amazing getting called up. Kobe Mayo's now up as well. So this Orioles team is fantastic and electric, and yeah, they've done great. Number 4, I'm going to be having the Los Angeles Dodgers. Obviously, the Dodgers did lose the series to the Phillies, which is why they're bumped down a little bit, but still have a great team. Jack Flaherty is already coming clutch with his first start against the A's. He did really, really great. I think he's going to add a ton of depth to that rotation, which they really need right now with all the injuries they've had to their pitching staff. So I think Flaherty is a great addition. I think overall this offense is amazing like it always has been. So I do have the Dodgers as the 4th best team in baseball here. I think that's pretty clear, and I think it makes all the sense in the world. So that's where I have them. Now, we really knew what the top 4 was going to be. I think now from 5 to 10 it gets a lot more interesting. Number 5 here, I'm going to be having the Cleveland Guardians. Guardians are a great team. They don't have great pitching. They don't have a great rotation, but their bullpen is absolutely locked down and electric. Their lineup has some great players, including Jose Ramirez, Josh Naylor, Stephen Kwan, a great top 3 that any team fears going into that lineup. Lane Thomas added a whole new level of length and depth to that lineup as well. So absolutely fantastic team. I think in the playoffs, the lack of great pitchers in that starting rotation is going to come up as a question mark. But for right now, till then, they're a great team, one of the best regular season teams. And man, have they just been a big time surprise this year. I did not expect them to do this well, and they consistently have, so props to them. 6th place, I'm going to be having their direct rival, the team they're playing right now as I speak, actually, the Minnesota Twins. Twins and Guardians have, been fighting for 1st and 2nd place all year. Guardians have been in front most of the year, but Twins are right behind and still are, and they're beating the Guardians currently as well as I speak. Last time I checked, it was 3-0. Twins are a fantastic team. I I really like their rotation. I think their bullpen's pretty solid. Their lineup, of course, has a lot of elite pieces. I'm not going to go too in depth with them, obviously, because my fourth segment is going to be mainly about them. Focusing on Joe Ryan and his pitching injury for them, but also factoring that in because they are the team he plays for. So we'll talk about them more, but later. But right now, sixth place, maybe a little high, but I really like them. Our third AL Central team in a row here, the Kansas City Royals, are at 7. Who would have thought at the start of the year that the AL Central would be the powerhouse division this year? I mean, the way all these three teams have played this year and really turn around their franchise has been really absolutely incredible. I love this Royals team. I think their pitching staff is absolutely elite. Even added to it more with Michael Lorenzen, adding a lot more depth there. Lineup is, of course, great. I mean, Bobby Witt Jr. is probably the MVP right now. Who would have thought that with the season Aaron Judge is having? Salvador Perez is having a great season. So is MJ Melendez, Vinny Pasquantino, Michael Garcia. So this Royals team has a fantastic offense. Pitching rotation is, of course, elite of the elite. They added to the bullpen a lot in the deadline as well, adding Hunter Harvey, adding Lucas Erceg. So I really like what the Royals have built with this team. I think they're really, really good, and I think they're here at number 7. Number 8, we are going to be having our 4th American League team in a row, the Houston Astros. I was debating putting the Astros higher, but considering they're only 3 games above 500, I didn't think it was right. But this Astros team has been consistently elite since really the start of June. Got off to a horrible start at the year, but I've showed everyone that they're still the Astros. They're still not a team to screw around with, and yeah, they've consistently been amazing. Just an incredible team. Even though they did give up a lot for Yusei Kikuchi, he's still been a fantastic addition to that rotation. Has done a lot of great things there, and is a great arm to add. So with that, you have the elite lineup, of course, that boasts stars like Alex Bregman, Jose Altuve, Yainer Diaz. You have Jordan Alvarez as well. Jeremy Pena has been good. So I really like this Astros team. They've been consistently amazing since their really rough 2 months to start the year. But after that, have been great. I think clearly right now are the best team in the American League West. And that's really going to be a dogfight to the end of the year with the Astros, Mariners, and Rangers all within close proximity to each other. It will be interesting to see who wins it. I think it'll be the Astros. I think they're a fantastic team. We'll have to see. So I do have them at number 8 here. Number 9 and 10 were hard, as I'm just going to spoil it. The next 5 teams in a row are National League teams, all fighting for a spot in the wild card. So it was hard for me to be able to put the teams where I wanted them to, but this is where I'm going to have it. I'll explain why. Number 9, I am going to be having the Milwaukee Brewers. Have led the NL Central basically the entire year. Their offense has been absolutely incredible. Really, nobody expected that, including myself. I did not expect the Brewers' offense to be this good, but it's been absolutely great and absolutely killer. So the Brewers have consistently been a fantastic team this year. Definitely should be at this number 9 spot. Have definitely 100% deserved it and earned it. And they're definitely the top 10 team in baseball right now. That's where I have them. And finally, finishing off at number 10, this is right now, what my opinion is the top wildcard team, the San Diego Padres. I didn't love the Padres deadline simply because, as I've said a few times now, I think they could have given up the high prospect capital they gave up for bullpen arms to maybe get some starters. So I don't really agree with that. But the players they got are absolutely incredible. Jason Adam, Tanner Scott add a lot to that already great bullpen. You now have, again, as I've put it a few times now, 6 genuinely elite bullpen arms. Tanner Scott. You now, of course, have Jason Adam, Adrian Morihone, Yuki Matsui. You have Jeremiah Estrada and Robert Suarez. A incredible back end to that bullpen that'll shut any team out, no matter the offense. It's going to be killer during the playoffs. And right now, I think the Padres are the best. I think are the best wildcard team currently. I think are absolutely fantastic. Not sure what is going to be happening with the rotation. Not sure when Joe Musgrove and Yu Darvish are going to be back. Both have been on and off the injured list all year. Of course, Darvish isn't really hurt. He's dealing with a personal situation, but still. So I do have the Padres here at number 10. Right now, the top and a wildcard team. But for the next segment, which I'll be going into soon, obviously, a few minutes now, there will be 3 straight National League teams that are also fighting for the wildcard. So just a little spoiler for that. But yeah, that is my first segment here, going over the top 10 teams I believe in baseball right now. Go over it again quickly. Number 1, Philadelphia Phillies. Number 2, New York Yankees. Number 3, Baltimore Orioles. Number 4, Los Angeles Dodgers. Number 5, Cleveland Guardians. Number 6, Minnesota Twins. Number 7, Kansas City Royals. Number 8, Houston Astros. Number 9, Milwaukee Brewers. And number 10, San Diego Padres. So yeah, that is my first segment here, going over the first part of my power rankings, numbers 1 to 10. Moving into the second segment here, which is going to be talking about numbers 11 to 20 for my power rankings. So yeah, we'll be doing that, and we'll be seeing you after the break and talking all those teams then. So thanks, and bye.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign.